This is the NDFB Intermission Report.
We're here at the intermission of night number 1 of the NDRA Rodeo Finals, and back again, Daryl Lease, the president, North Dakota Farm Bureau. And Daryl, it seems like every year you're having to advocate for something. There's always something going on. This one, we're going to take a little step back from advocation. We're going to talk about something that's really cool. It's your On Your Table program. We're going to deviate a little bit from what we've talked about in years past, but that too is so important to the people of North Dakota.
Well, it's still a part of advocating, though, because there are so many misconceptions out there about food and how food is grown and how it's prepared. And so part of advocating on behalf of farmers and ranchers is also informing the consumer of what we do, why we do what we do. And we have a new website that's on your table, and it's where truth meets food. And it's a place you can get all those answers that you have. You know, why are they applying a certain kind of a crop protectant? Why are they trying to protect crops from certain kind of insects and other pests? Why are we giving vaccinations to livestock? All those things that people have a question about, and they see the misinformation when they go on the social media or on World Wide Web and search for it. We have an opportunity where it's actual farmers and ranchers, be it smaller, mid-size, or large, can have answers for all of those consumers' questions.
And Daryl, we see so often when people, are out and they're eating fast food or they're eating in a restaurant, they have no clue where that food comes from. They get some opportunity to find out where the food comes from when they're, say, at the grocery store, but people want that information. They want it right now.
Well, people are curious about, why things get done on the farm and ranch that happen in the production and the growing of that food. And the first thing that needs to be realized by the consumer is everything that a farmer and rancher that we grow on our farms and ranches, we utilize for our families also. And so the first thing that should be out there as far as, putting any myth to rest is, why would a farmer and rancher be doing anything that would be harmful to their own family? If we're consuming those commodities, whether it's, some people grind their own wheat for their own flour right off the field. And, we raise our livestock and we utilize one of the animals each year that we raise to put in our freezer to feed our family. Why would we do anything to jeopardize anyone's health if we're going to be using it ourselves? We sure wouldn't do it to our own family. So that's the first myth buster out there. But there are a lot of things out there that people are curious about, the timing and application of certain crop protectants or pest, protectants when it comes to either crops or livestock. And why do we do it? Get the information right from a farmer and rancher. We wanted to bring this to them. And we bring a dietitian into the picture also. So you have the professionals and the experts that are farmers and ranchers in the growing of it. Now we're aligned with an expert in the nutritional values of this food also.
One thing we hear a lot of the time, it seems to be cyclical. It was worried about maybe 20, 30 years ago, then people weren't so worried, and now it seems to be worried about again is country of origin, where food is truly coming from. I think people deserve to know, where their food's coming from, but more importantly, people want to know if they're getting a product that's from here in North Dakota or from here in the United States. I think that's incredibly important. I think folks like you and the NDFB obviously see that same value as well.
Well, and so, that when it comes to country of origin labeling, we have a belief at NDFB and a policy that states that we believe the private free enterprise market should be responsible for the labeling. It shouldn't be a government mandate, because there are local opportunities out there. There are products that are labeled, locally grown in North Dakota. There are products out there that have the USA growing on them. It's done through private enterprise. If people want that, it's out there, and it's available right now. To think that we need the government mandate is something that kind of flies in the face of free market and free enterprise. And therefore, if people want it, it's available out there. We have members, that are out there and they're creating their own label. They're selling their own local meat products, whether it's beef or pork. They're selling their own, packaged maybe peas and lentil products. And they're growing right here and they're packaged right here in the United States, right here in North Dakota many times.
So let's shift gears here a little bit. Obviously, On Your Table, incredibly important. You can find it at the website, get more information on that. But switching gears a little bit and talking just about trade and about the tariffs that are coming up. There's a lot of people who are uneducated. There's a lot of people who don't quite understand how it's going to affect them. And some people think it doesn't affect them. And ultimately, you're about to tell me it affects everybody every day.
I tell you what, there are so many misconceptions, and maybe not even misconceptions. There are facts left out of the discussion, let's call it that. Right now, everyone's focused on tariff, the word tariff when it has to do with trade. But there are so many factors that add cost to either sending our products over to other countries or adds cost to products from other countries coming into ours. Things like VAT taxes, value-added tax, that adds a cost on. It's not a tariff. It's not the fancy buzzword. It's still a cost. Phytosanitary issues, where you have to have certain kind of permits and requirements to be able to enter that costs money. It delays, which delayed time is money. There are things that are, we're held to a higher standard. Let's just take China. China's kind of the big named one out there right now. Although Canada and Mexico probably are bigger across the board, a variety of commodities and products. But China's the big talking point out there right now. And they have requirements on the United States that are more stringent than the requirements they have on any other country when it comes to quality and quantity restrictions. How is that fair trade? You know, we don't want to talk about free trade because nobody really truly wants free trade, because if we really take the definition of free, that means that products move freely, willingly, you can dump products. Let's not talk about free, let's talk about equitable trade. Right now, we're getting the short end of the stick when it comes to equity in these trade deals.
Well, we'll have more with Darrell Lease tomorrow night. We're going to talk Farm Bill tomorrow night. And more importantly, you gave your endorsement to a candidate here as we get closer to the election time as well. We'll talk more about that tomorrow night. We have more of the NDRA Rodeo Finals after this.